So in this video we are going to implement the feature such that we can mark the message as red. Okay, so we can do that by creating a button right somewhere here, and when we click on this, the message should be marked as red, and the message should still display, but the color of that should become white, and it should update this variable from 1 to 0. Okay, so it should update this count over here. So let us get started by creating a button here. So back to my code. So right above the message where we are displaying, we can just render a expression. So we only want to show the button if the message is unread. Okay, so else we just don't want to show in anything. So let's first check if the message is unread. So we can just do that by message dot is read if that is false, and then we are going to show this. Okay, so for now we can put this inside a tooltip. Okay, so if we hover on that, we should say that mark message as read, something like that. So tooltip, import that from design and give that title of mark as read, and after this we are going to render an icon from design, that is check circled outlined. Okay, so check circled outlined. Okay, so we just need to import this. Okay, so once that's imported, we can give this a class name of red icon. All right, so we can just close this up, and if I save this and go back and give this a refresh, so I should be able to see the icon over here. Okay, so yeah, you see, if I just hover on this also, I get the title mark as read. And yeah, so let us implement the feature such that when we click on this button, it should update the message entry within our database from is read, that was false before, to make it true. Okay, so let's now go to the actions file, and we can create a function to mark the message as read. So async function, and let's call this mark as read. All right, and we are going to receive the message id. Okay, so the message id is the one that is going to require within this server action. So we just need to take that and get the record of that and update the is read value to from false to true. Okay, so let's get the message id, and the type of this is going to be number, and inside this let's open a try catch. Okay, so inside the try, let's get the response that we make to our database and set this to await db dot messages. Okay, so just the message, and we just need to call the update function. Okay, so this is used to update a existing record in our database. So we just need to provide the where and pass in the id of the message, so that is coming from as the message id. And once we get the particular message, we need to update the is read value from false to true. Okay, so inside that, pass in data and change the value of is read to true. All right, so once that's done, let's call this response, and we just need to return the response. Okay, so all right, so if there is any error, we can just say fail to fetch message, or we can say error marking message as read and pass in the error. All right, so once we save this, we can finally export this function to mark as read. So back to our page, let's now create a function to mark the message as read. So let's call this handle mark message as read, or mark as read, and this is going to receive the message id. All right, and this is of course going to be an async function, and this function we should only call when we click on the button. Okay, so this button right here, so let's put on click there, and we just need to call the handle mark as read. So we just need to put this inside another function, and then we just need to pass in the message id. Okay, so we get that from message.id. Alright, so once we save this, we can just go back and annotate this to a number. Okay, so inside the body of the function, let's open our try catch, and here now we can put the call the function of mark as read and get the response. So mark as read, so that server action is auto imported, and let's call that and by passing the message id. So let us log the response to the console. Alright, just to see what do we actually get, because we do not have any mechanism to test if we are marking a message as read or not. Okay, so if there is any error, we can just again log that to the console as well, and we can say error marking property as read, message as read, and pass in the error. Alright, so now we can just go ahead and test this out. So we can just click on this button for every message, so it will pass in the message id, and this message id will get passed into the server action, and it will update the message record from is read property from false to true. Alright, so that's the short summary. So let's go ahead and test this out. So we have 100 message. So I don't know, for some reason why did this image disappear. So anyways, so when I click on this button, so I should be able to just see. Okay, so before that, let's open our console, and yeah, now if I click on this button, yeah, so it says that hello from another account, and we get the response without any errors. Okay, so now it has updated the is read property from false to true. Alright, so now you see that there's a problem. So this doesn't update the UI instantaneously. Okay, so whenever we click on this button, so for that we need to manually refresh, and once I refresh, you see that we do not have any 100 messages. Okay, so this message is now marked as read, so that's why we do not see the message highlighted, and as well as we do not see the mark as read button as well. Okay, so this is all about for this video. Alright, so let us counter this problem that we are having, so that we don't have to manually refresh. And there is a very interesting concept in Next.js called as revalidation of the particular path. Okay, so we do, since Next.js is all about caching, so we do not want to use the stale cache which is already using for this to power this page. So we want to revalidate the cache and then display the fresh data. Okay, so let us learn more about this in the next video.